Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome back to the class of clinical research protocol, and we were left with few ideas, and we were supposed to proceed with that. So we'll go ahead and continue with our protocol design methodology. Uh, I think this part we had done: packaging, labeling, dosing, storage. Okay, so by far we have learned lot many topics under your this thing, what you say, under protocol design, and as and when we are coming across many events of the topics, I'm trying to explain you what does it mean exactly. Okay, so statistical method and consideration is the next part of your protocol design, your model. So the data which may be subjected to statistical analysis may be specified with the specific processes test formulae, and which may be adopted for analysis of data may be proposed in blueprints in advance. Okay. For example, uh, you want to do the BMI of a patient, of subjects who have enrolled. So for BMI, you need weight and height. Okay. For that, you will be creating a formula beforehand only. So as soon as the people are entering the data into their system, this is their body weight, this is their height, automatically the BMI is calculated. So this is a very simple example I have told you. But then when we have big evaluations, like how much of the drug has been absorbed into the bloodstream at a given point, when since the time we have given them the study treatment. For that, we will be needing the area under the curve, the bioavailability in the percentage, etc., the elimination rate, etc., etc. So all those statistical analysis can be done if we have the formulas ready beforehand. Okay, and for having standard deviation also, if you know what is the how many samples you have done already, and what is the probable standard deviation that we are having, whether it falls into the range or not, what would be the range for standard deviation, what is the acceptable limit, what is not as a acceptable limit, all that has to be mentioned in that. Okay, so these formulas and everything is done in advance. As I told you, biostatisticians are the main what you say stakeholders in the protocol design. Okay, so along with the investigator, sponsor, everything, the biostatistician also have a major role in this particular area. Okay, then sample size should be clearly mentioned, and reason for selecting such number for study also be clearly defined. And who can do this? Only biostatistician can do. How? Why this sample size and justification for this, right? See, when you're studying in your curriculum, you have a little bit part of a biostatistics, but you are not a specialized person in that. Generally, mathematic people, and now we have MSc in biostatistics also. Okay? So those people will be working in this area only, where you are. And in clinical research, biostatistician hold a very big role, because they have to know, they have to help out the people who are going to conduct the trial, like how exactly we will go ahead and select the sample size, and depending on that, what type of a standard deviation we can get, and whether the results we are going to get are going to be reliable or not. Okay, so that is one thing. Then another thing is data collection, analysis, retention, and monitoring. So data will be entered into a validated database. All procedures for the handling and analysis of data will be conducted by using good computing practices. So this is what is applicable to our current studies. See, before this, everything was on paper, not on the system. Now everything is in the system, and which has made the work which little easier also, because if I'm using formulas and everything, I just have to put the values, and immediately I will get the immediately I'll get the answer which I'm looking for. Okay, So data should be entered and it should be validated, and all the procedures for handling and analysis of data will be conducted by using good computing practices. Okay. So let me tell you this one thing also, that sir must have told you, so sir must have definitely told in his webinar which we had in on clinical data management. See, if I am a clinical research associate and if I am entering the data, then above me there will be one person who will be confirming and validating the entry of my data. ठीक है कि हाँ मैंने जो एंटर किया है वो बराबर एंटर किया है. Above him there will be a monitor who will be from data management team, who will again validate the data and log the data. So this is how the process is. Okay, and this is how we will keep on entering the data, so that we are having checks at every point of time, so that we are making sure that there are no errors when we reach until the last point of the study. Okay, and that is when it is very important that you give the data simultaneously and analyze it simultaneously and validate it simultaneously, because आज अगर 50 लोगों का data validate होता है on the spot, as soon as it got entered in today itself, it got validated and today itself it got logged. Okay, then the process of generating reports, doing further studies, means further on the list work will be reduced. That means you are first of all keeping a track of each and every process. If there are any errors to be caught, they will be caught immediately after, as soon as you recognize that error. So this process of entering the data, monitoring and then validating is very important. Okay, and this is when you guys can come into picture. See, basically if I tell you that you guys would be having knowledge about good clinical practices now, and then when if you are willing to join any CDM company, clinical data management company or something, so you guys will be mostly into data monitoring, data validating will be not in your hand, या फिर data entry. ठीक है, but all this will take little bit of a time of yours to understand the process after joining a company as well. Okay, why I'm telling you all this, because you must know that if I learn this chapter thoroughly, if I do things properly through whatever I have taught and through whatever you will learn on your own, it will help you. And this is the upcoming field, you have to be prepared for this. Okay, so all these things, that even if they will ask you what do you mean by ICH GCP, ये basic questions वो हमेशा पूछते ही हैं, because they want people who will at least know what is good clinical practices, what is ICH GCP, क्या है exactly ICH, why do we follow their guidelines. So all that has to be known by people who are going to go for an interview. Okay, then availability and retention of the investigational records. So the investigator is responsible for all information collected on subjects enrolled in the study. All data collected during the course of the study must be reviewed and verified for completeness and accuracy by investigator. So ultimate person who is going to be on top of everyone is the investigator, because it's his trial, right? People like us, means CRA or somebody, they are just going to work under him. A copy of case report form should be with investigators at completion of the after completion of the study. And what is this CRF? ठीक है, this is called as CRF, case report form. तो जैसे हम लोगों ने कल डिस्कस किया था, हर एक विजिट के लिए पेशेंट का डेटा हम लोग रखते हैं, या फिर हर एक ब्लड सैंपल का कभी कभी हमने ब्लड सैंपलिंग किया है. ठीक है, what time I administered a dose to that particular person, what time he had the food, how much of the food he had, how much of the water he drank, whether he followed all the protocol or not. See, I tell you one thing over here. So once, as soon as you have the patient in your facility, okay, that time until, see, there is this fasting period that you have to maintain. That 12 घंटे तक उन्होंने पानी भी नहीं पीना चाहिए subjects से. So that you get the, so everybody is following, all the subjects is following the same rule, so that we have exactly same data. at the end of the study, we should be having, means all this parameter has to be constant, so that you can actually look into the data and analyze ki all the parameter, all other parameters were constant. There was no difference between two people, at least in their meal, in their water content or whatever, so that whatever data I'm going to get is going to be a complete authentic data for drugs action, its reaction, its bioavailability, etc. Okay? So why I'm telling you this thing is because as soon as subjects enroll into the facility, so tomorrow morning he is going to get the dose at 8 a.m. ठीक है, तो उस 8 a.m. से पहले 12 घंटे तक उसको पानी भी नहीं पीना है, and they are strictly prohibited from drinking water. And even if they want to drink at all, then it is there is a available limit, or for example 250 ml only, so उतना ही पानी वो पी सकते हैं. And these all regulations they have to follow, and it's the duty of the clinical research associate or associate or all the screening team that वो ये सारे चीजों की note rakhe, and then make sure that everything is followed. So as after that also, so they follow the 12-hour fasting of not even drinking water. Okay? And then they get the medication at 8 a.m. Okay? And then after that, they are not given any amount of water. So medicine के साथ पानी पियेंगे वो लोग. मैंने बोला as soon as they have the medicine, we give them a glass of water. That also is measured amount of water, that how much of the water they will be drinking. And after that, at least for 2 to 3 hours, they are not allowed to eat anything or drink anything. And then accordingly, the blood samples will be withdrawn from the subjects to make sure that we have all the possible points taking into consideration of T half of the drug. Okay? T half in the sense half life of the drug. ठीक है. So I'm just giving you an example कि क्या क्या types के restrictions subjects को भी देखने पड़ते हैं और क्या क्या types के restriction का follow up हुआ है कि नहीं. That is the ultimate duty of the investigator. ठीक है ना. So even if I am a CRA, it becomes duty of the investigator to make sure that all these rules and regulations are followed and done properly. ठीक है. So this whatever I told you right now is applicable to the fasting study. So there are two types of study in terms of fasting study and fed study. So what do you mean by fasting study? कि patient subjects को हम कुछ भी खाना नहीं देते हैं before they are taking the medication study treatment. ठीक है. In fed study, we give them proper 1500 kilocalorie या फिर whatever kilocalorie breakfast is mentioned in your protocol. We give them heavy breakfast, and after that we give them the medication. So that is fed study, and without any breakfast we will be doing, it will be called as the fasting study. So generally in bioavailability and bioequivalence trials, we do both the things, because we want to check the effect of the food on the drug availability, drugs bioavailability. So many a times fast and fed study for a new product always are to be conducted. Okay? And in fed study, let me tell you this also, in fed study, we have to make sure that how much kilocalorie breakfast we are going to give to the subject. Okay? So many a time it is mentioned in your protocol, and if they tell you that heavy protein या फिर heavy fat breakfast you have to give them, then generally subjects are given cheese sandwiches or something like that, so that you are making sure that amount of calories to be fed are taken by the subjects. Little bit here and there, obviously it happens, because it's not compulsory that you will ask them to eat 2 sandwiches and they have to eat 2 sandwiches, but little bit here and there will be happening, obviously. But you have to make sure that that person is eating and then having the tablet. Okay. So this is so all these minor considerations are there, means these are major consideration, but all if you look at the whole clinical study, this is like one of the part of the clinical study, which is very crucial. Okay? So all this has to be monitored by QA/QC, CRA, and ultimately the investigator. Okay? तो तुम्हारे केस रिपोर्ट फॉर्म में ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन भी रहती है, like what time that person had the meal. And imagine that when I'm explaining you people, I'm explaining about only one subject. So if you have 100 plus subjects in your facility, it's a difficult task, it's not a easy task. Okay. Then administrative ethical regulations consideration. So the study should be conducted according to Declaration of Helsinki, protection of human volunteers, institutional review board, institutional ethics committee, obligation of clinical investigators, and good clinical practices. So all this has to be compliant when you're going to conduct any clinical trial. All this compliance has to be updated and then signed. Okay, all these documents are supposed to be in place. Okay, very important. Then institutional review board and independent ethics committee, the protocol consent form and the protocol amendment should be reviewed and approved by IRB or IEC. Serious experiences regardless of casualty should be reported to IRB or IEC. So this is very important. Any kind of adverse event has to be reported to IRB or IEC. Okay, this is the most important part. If you fail to communicate it to IRB or IEC, IEC or IRB can stop your clinical trials. They have that rights. Okay, so this is very important. Then informed consent form. Let's talk about informed consent form. So informed consent should be prepared in accordance with the Declaration of Helsinki, ICSGC, that is International Council of Harmonization Good Clinical Practices, FDA, and Health Insurance Probability and Accountability, that is HIPAA, and local regulation. So you'll be taking responsibility of that particular subject until and unless he is means like till the time he is enrolled into your trial. Okay, clinical trial. A proper executed written informed consent will be obtained from each subject prior to entering the subject into the trial. And information should be given in both oral and written form in their native language to subjects or their legal representative about the study. So generally, जब हम ग्लेनमार्क में करते थे BAB trials, we used to have the consent form mostly in Marathi and Hindi, and sometimes we had it in Gujarati as well. So it becomes the job of a clinical research associate to make sure that you are transferring all the consent form into the languages that subjects are more comfortable with. And it's a duty of the physician in the clinic CRO, that is clinical research organization, to make sure that he is explaining each and every point on the informed consent form to them very clearly. See, nowadays this dictation of giving the knowledge of informed consent form, like reading out the informed consent form, is recorded, and you have to keep it on the CD or in your data. Okay, whether you give the informed consent form information to the subjects who are going to enroll into your facility, so it has to be recorded, and it has to be, the copy of it has to be kept with you people. Okay, जो जिनका CRO है वो, ठीक है. So because this is a very important document, informed consent form, and it holds the most ethical value, because the subject has, by signing this, subject is telling that I have enrolled into this trial on my own. I'm not under anybody's pressure, and I have read all the important aspect of the investigational drug, and I'm ready to take the risk for whatever, ready to take the risk, because every trial is a risk trial for that person, and they're ready to take the risk against the beneficence that they are going to get out of it. Okay. So subject confidentiality. So in order to maintain the subject's confidentiality, only a site number, subject number, and subject initial will be identify all subjects on CRS and other documents. ये मैंने आपको पहले भी बोला है कि none of the subjects will be known by their name. They will be known by their subject number, their subject initial, and also by the site number. ठीक है. So their name is nowhere to be reflected. Okay. Then to maintain the confidentiality, all laboratory specimen evaluation forms, reports, and other records should identified by a code number and initials only. And all study records should be kept in the locked file cabinet. Very important. Code sheets linking a patient name to a patient identification number should be stored separately in another locked file cabinet. In the sense, scanning code types rehta hai. This is something new, which I had not seen when I was in BAB trial. So you have a scanning code. So that scanning code is now stuck onto the case report form of each subject. So as soon as you scan this code, then only you come to know the details of that person. Okay, so that particular code sheet which links the patient information should be kept into different cabinet, locked cabinet. Clinical information should not be released without written permission of the subjects, except as necessary for monitoring by authorized agency. So over there also, अगर तुम्हें ये information चाहिए about subject's name and etc., that also has to be done after taking permission from the subject. Okay. Then references and appendices, all references cited in the protocol or relevant to the study should be listed properly, because obviously you'll be following some protocol which has been followed before. So you have to do the referencing work here as well before you develop the protocol. Then supplemental documents such as data collection form, survey, questionnaires, advertisement, and flyers should be included to the protocol. So data collection forms, surveys, questionnaires, advertisement, these are all the documents which has to be included in the protocol. For example, let's talk about the advertisement, that you have to advertise your clinical trial so that subjects will get enrolled for the clinical trial. So it is like same as that of government ka job agar aata hai, to government has to publish into the paper and then many people will apply for it. And accordingly the selection will be done. So same way. So all that advertisement copy, all the survey या फिर questionnaire तुमने जो कुछ भी data collection के लिए बनाया है, वो सारा का सारा तुम्हारे protocol में attached होना चाहिए. ठीक है? Next is publications. The publications or presentation of any study results should be according to the privacy law, agreement with the sponsor, health insurance portability, and accountability act. So publication of your study, okay, has to be in accordance with the privacy law, agreement with the sponsor. If you are an investigator, then obviously you have to make an agreement with the sponsor, and health insurance probability and accountability. Research article. So how to design and write a clinical research protocol in cosmetic and dermatology. So you'll be writing the abstract for that. We are not going to talk in detail about it. A complete clinical trial protocol should include question, background, objective, methodology, that is your design and variable description, your sample size, your randomization, inclusion, exclusion criteria, intervention, efficacy and safety measures, and statistical analysis. Very important. So this all comes under the methodology part. Okay. Then consent form, clinical research form, references, and then institutional ethics review board approval, financial support disclosure are necessary, and publication of the positive or negative results should be an author's commitment. ठीक है, पॉजिटिव हो या फिर नेगेटिव हो, यू हैव टू पब्लिश इट अकॉर्डिंगली, बिकॉज डिपेंडिंग your other people who are going to do the study after you, they will be taking the reference from your study, whether they should proceed with this particular trial or not. There is a huge link between how much, like what data you have published, right? Because many a times, let me tell you this, many a times nowadays when we are treating cancer, okay, all the cancer studies or terminal cancer studies are done under this clinical trial protocol only, and then accordingly the results are published. So it becomes a very easy job, for at least little bit easy for a doctor to go ahead and check whether somebody has done any kind of a clinical test with this kind of a person. If अगर उसको 4th grade prostate cancer है, so what all clinical studies are being done by far? If that patient profile is matching with the patient who has come to me, probably I can do the same treatment for that patient and achieve the good result. So that is how these clinical trials are going to help to people. Okay? So clinical keywords will be clinical protocols, clinical trial, comparative study, cosmetic, epidemiology, research design, and research design. Epidemiologic research design and normal research design. I'm not sure about this, what they have written. So yeah, we'll skip the last 3 to 4 slides. So this is how it is, how to design this thing and how to do take it to the publication. So once you are done with the protocol design and everything, once you have the results in your hand, once you have analyzed your result, and now you're ready to conclude your results, then you will be starting with, if you want to do the publication, you'll be starting with a normal research paper, writing a abstract, then introduction, methodology you used, and what was the discussion, or the result of your clinical trial. So this is it in the clinical trial and protocol design part. Okay, I hope I have made it clear best to my knowledge. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. You can type in the chat box for now. You guys have any questions? Okay. So Priya is saying is clear whatever I have told. Let's discuss about one very small portion that I wanted to talk about. There are two people I have been talking about when we are doing the clinical trial या फिर हम जब BA/BE trial करते हैं. So investigator and sponsor. So these are again two very important people, because investigator is the one whose medication is been analyzed in clinical trial, and sponsor is the one who is sponsoring this investigator to conduct his trial. So both of them have equal share in the clinical trial. If the clinical trials goes well, both of them are going to make the profit. Okay, so there are different roles and responsibility of investigator and sponsor. So what are these roles and responsibility? जैसे मैंने अभी, as and when we are moving ahead with the topic, I have been telling that investigator holds the major responsibility of entering of the data, screening of the subjects, and enrolling the subject, making sure that amount of subjects we were expecting are to the mark. मीन्स लाइक अगर 60 है तो एटलीस्ट 60 61 62 या फिर 59 it has to be the same. Then whatever data is been entered by clinical research associate, is it correct or not? They have to investigator has to validate it, because everywhere investigator will be signing on each and every form of case report form, right? Each subject information will be signed by investigator. Okay, so investigator is the one who is going to remain into the facility of the trial and make sure he will be observing the clinical trial या फिर BA trial very closely. Okay, so sponsor is not going to be there all the time, right? For example, Pfizer is sponsoring my study, okay, my clinical trial, and I am the principal investigator, and at some facility my clinical trial is going on. But then Pfizer का जो अभी कोई रहेगा manager, he is not going to be there with me and check on each and every activity of the clinical trial. So in that case, they recruit few people from QA/QC to make sure that all the clinical trials are taking place according to the rules and regulation that are mentioned into the protocol, and also the ethical consideration is being done, and all the steps of the clinical trial are conducted appropriately. So they can make it as a surprise visit also, or they will let you know in advance कि people from our side will be coming and visiting your facility to make sure that clinical trials are conducted according to the ICH GCP guidelines or whatever guidelines they are following. Okay. So this is a very important thing. We are going to discuss about the roles and responsibility of investigator and sponsor as well very shortly. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight this particular part of the sponsor and the investigator. Okay. So moving after this, in the next lecture, mostly I'll be talking about our topic of genomics. Let's see how it goes. Otherwise, if not, then I will continue with the same, and we will be talking about either roles and responsibility of investigator and sponsor, or we will talk about the inclusion exclusion criteria. Very important. Okay. So if anybody has any doubt, Darshana, Naina, everything is clear. Sumedha, you are there?
Yes, ma'am.
I think Sumedha has done a short course in clinical trials, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah,
are we in good
post-graduation in
shape?
clinical trials.
are we
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
everything correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Thank you for if there is any information that you can share with us, definitely go ahead and share with us. Okay, Sumedha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I sign off for now. Okay, and I'll see you at 1:30 lecture. You have to join the lecture through the same link. Okay, I need not send you the link again and again. Okay, so you can join the lecture at before 1:30, 5 minutes before 1:30. Okay, and we'll continue with the same link and same meeting ID and the password. Okay, okay. I'll see you up then. Bye.